Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at these fitness gloves from Vivimi. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Samari who did provide these products for review. Now in the past we looked at some products from Samari, more specifically we looked at their water shoes, and those water shoes have been absolutely great for me. Now when I was looking at their water shoes, they did reach out and say, hey, by the way, we do have some fitness gloves under the brand name Vivimi, and if you'd be interested in checking them out, we'd love to send them to you to take a look. Now, for me personally, I kind of thought, well, where does that really come into play? I don't just want to take products and review them on my channel. I definitely want to provide you with good quality content, so getting things that are relative to my channel, it definitely makes a difference. So I thought about it a little bit and I realized that actually workout gloves would be very relevant. And the reason why I say that is for a couple of reasons. You know, a lot of guys, they do wear gloves in the outdoor wilderness application. And for me, where I'm into the hiking, camping, and backpacking genre, I definitely knew that gloves like this might come into play. Now in today's video, we do look at these in a couple of different scenarios. First, I take a look at these on a real long journey, a couple of days, 32 miles, number of peaks and scrambling over the mountains, deep wilderness, and these were absolutely great. But the second scenario is using these in the camp application because for me personally, when I'm out there, sometimes I just don't want to damage my hands. Bottom line is, I'm remote, I'm far away, I am really at a point of self-rescue, so to do little things along the way to really protect my hands and protect my body in general, it definitely comes into play. And so in this video, I do use these in a couple of different scenarios, and I have to say, I am very impressed. And so at this point, I have a bunch to show you, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. So getting ready to hit the trails and testing out these Vivimi gloves here. So both me and Terry both using these. Got these from the people at Samari, so thank you very much to the people at Samari who did provide these for review. Now we got a big day ahead of us, 20 miles, significant terrain. And then tomorrow another 16 miles. So wearing these to protect our hands from a couple of things. First is I am using some trekking poles, so it's just going to help give me padding over the long course of the day and the mileage, but then also scrambling up rocks, trying to protect my hands. It'll also help keep the sun off them. We're going to get pretty much blazed by the sun all day today, so hopefully these will give me a little bit of protection. How are the gloves?
Gloves are good.
You like them?
Yeah, kind of safe.
I mean, so far so good, right? A lot of rocks scrambling.
Yep, trees grabbing on.
Holding the poles.
Yep.
Holding up good, look good.
Cushion, yeah,
no problem. Yours are a little different, right? If you flip them over, you got a little thicker padding, but a little difficult to get them off.
A little bit,
just because of the sweat.
I had to pull them like almost inside out to get them off.
Yeah.
But they're good.
I
like
worth it for a trip like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Act 10. I finally got the number right. Woo! So this right here is victory. We made it. Woo! Little knee knocker right here. Enough to make your knees weak. But yeah, man. Terry, give it up, buddy.
12.
Act 12 in the books. And that's incredible. I guess in theory that's technically the top, but man, this counts. So yeah, all day yesterday, working all the way over all that, up behind where you can see, and then all day today, working our way up into there, and back around to here. Man, that is, that's glorious. I feel damn good about it. Ah, nice work. All right, so after legitimately 2 full days, 12 mountain peaks, just mile after mile after mile. Dude.
They've been in rivers.
They've literally.
Like, been wet. And there's
these are
sap,
legitimately pristine. I mean, I don't see...
They look clean. And like, I don't know, no rips, no...
No rips, no tears, no pulls, no frays. No even abrasions.
No.
I mean, mine? Same. I mean, that is impressive, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, to put that kind of use, these actually in this camera look kind of purple. I would not say those are purple, would you?
No.
They're black, right?
They're black, and it's just different fabric.
It's just the way the light is in here. And in fact, mine look purple too, and they're definitely not. They're both black. But I'm impressed, man. I would say that for that type of a journey, I really wouldn't want to have my hands exposed. I mean, having the coverage.
I mean, I wouldn't go without them in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I agree. So, yeah, I'm impressed. Great product. Definitely very happy with these. Oh, and keep them. They're yours.
Oh my God! Well, thank you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Enjoy them. And if you're gonna use them, then use them.
Sweet.
So
I
nice.
will.
Part of the kit.
Awesome. Sweet.
So something else I need to discuss here, just in terms of the details, these are actually built slightly different. There are different styles. So this one here is considered to be a full cuff, and this one here is not. So if you look, this here is a little bit of a shorter cut. It's going to end just shy of your wrist, but this one here does have a full cuff, and that goes down a little bit further onto your wrist to give you just a little bit of protection and some rigidity. Now there is another style which we will look at shortly, which is actually even a more in-depth cuff, a little bit thicker, a little more padding. And then speaking of padding, you'll also notice that these have heavy duty padding, and these actually have a little bit of like lighter padding. Now, you'll notice that they both held up equally well, but just depending on what you're trying to do, and especially, I mean, keep in mind, these are workout gloves. So, you know, in a gym application, a workout application, that might matter. So paying attention to the details will really make a difference for the user, whether or not the different cuff styles or even the padding. So there you go, using these gloves in the hiking and backpacking application. Now, as you can see, they definitely came into play. Some rugged terrain and 2 complete days on end where I kept these gloves on my hands the entire time, and not even as much as the slightest little bit of damage. So these were comfortable, and they protected my hands not just from my trekking poles, but grabbing trees and rocks and scrambling and all the things that, after climbing over 12 peaks and 32 miles, the last thing I wanted when I was that deep into the wilderness is having problems again with any part of my body, but specifically my hands. Now, the next thing is using these in the camping application. Well, where does this come into play? Well, real quick, I'm going to roll in a little more footage so you can have a look. So here you'll see me using these gloves in the camping application, using them just for some protection while I'm using my camp knife. Now obviously this knife is oversized, but bottom line is, depending on what you're trying to do, these gloves will definitely come into play. So not just using the knives, but protecting my hands, grabbing wood, using the wood as a baton, hammering down through the knife and splitting my wood, grabbing all the wood around the campsite and dragging it over to my fire. There are a number of reasons why having a good pair of gloves will come into play. Now, not only did I enjoy these gloves because they protected my hands, but having the cut-off fingers definitely left me with at least a little bit of dexterity. And I have to say, overall, these were not only durable, but I did enjoy wearing them. I was glad to have the protection while I was out in the remote wilderness. And so again, there you have it, looking at these gloves in the camping application. Definitely coming into play, working very well for the knife chores. Now looking back at that video, you saw mostly me using the knife. However, the whole time I'm grabbing branches and pulling them around and processing wood for a fire. So the potential there for splinters, and really for me, even more so getting blisters from either swinging the knife, but more specifically using the baton. I found that usually if I'm gonna form a blister, it's not from the knife, it's from using a big heavy log and something that's kind of rough as a baton to split my wood. And so having gloves like this definitely came into play. Now, a few final comments. First and foremost, there are a few different styles, so depending on your needs, you could potentially go one way or another. You know, I opted to pretty much wear this glove here that had sort of that medium cuff, but you can get it either with no cuff or, in this case, an even larger cuff. So if you compare these side by side, you'll notice this one here having a much larger cuff than on this one here. Now, it's personal preference. Could have gone either way. Didn't matter to me. In fact, I gave the ones with the smallest cuff to my buddy, and he seemed to like them just fine. And I think it depends on exactly what you're going to be doing with these gloves. I also gave a pair of these to my wife, who has now since been using these for some lightweight aerobics and some yoga, and having the cuff has definitely helped her wrists. Bottom line is, she actually, for her profession, does use her hands a lot and requires dexterity and cannot afford to damage her hands nor her wrists. So having protective gloves and even a little bit of protection with the cuff has definitely come into play. Now, durability on these is excellent. These have performed extremely well. At this point, I've used these on a number of occasions, not just the one you saw in the video, and that covered multiple days. And these are holding up extremely well. At this point, I really don't see any notable damage or anything that's catching my attention. I don't see any holes. I don't see any frays. I don't even as much as see really any abrasions on either the palms or the fabric. Now, I do see maybe a little bit of wear, and I'm not even saying significant wear, but you can just kind of tell that these have been worn. But other than that, no problem. The fact of the matter with cut-off gloves is they're always going to be a little bit difficult to get off your hands. It's not a big deal. It's just something that you get used to and you deal with it. I personally really enjoyed having the cut-off fingers. I like the idea that you get the benefit of the protection, yet you still get the dexterity of your fingers. And that definitely came into play with my camp scenario, and even at that while I was out on the trails. So nice cut-off gloves, good durability, protection where you need it. I'd say this is definitely a relevant product for my channel, and I can recommend it to all of you. So again, I'd like to say thank you very much to the people at Samari who provided these Vivimi gloves for review. Very nicely done. I greatly enjoy them, and I will continue to definitely use these into the future. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.